not saying do it, recklessly. I'm just saying that by that happening, you're now promoting more people to have events, which I think is super important. And we started with that way back at the beginning of this. I mean, I personally, like at the beginning of COVID, I think we were like a month in after I went through my depression of like, what's next? Mind blown. What do I do? I built a chuppah in the backyard with my daughters, and that
I saw that. I
was so fun.
loved that because you were bonding with them and you were
No,
promoting.
it was awesome, and the best part about it was, wow, that was really high pitched. Did anyone else hear that? No, the best part about that is that everyone was kind of like jumping on board and saying, wait, there's a ceremony happening in your backyard. How's that possible? I'm like, well, you're allowed to party for 10, maybe try it, see what happens. And then we started getting inquiries because they saw that it was possible. And I thought that was really like, it was so eye-opening for me. And I think it was so eye-opening for so many people to see that once we plant the seed that it's possible,
Right.
everything else is endless.
Yeah. What about you, Kwa? Has it affected you, or you guys are always busy?
I mean, it's it affected everyone. But you know what? Ironically, it affected me for the better, from the business side of things.
Yeah, live streams are up, man.
It's just not the live streams. You know what? It's we propelled ourselves to something that we thought we were going to get there in 5 years, and it happened over pretty much in a few months. We forced
That's
out. We had
what did I say before?
Yeah,
Genius.
we forced us. We were forced into a whole new shift, and it's we had to not just slim down, but it was how do you take all the skill sets that we have and make it even more valuable, and because we did that, I mean, we got so busy, we got so swamped. So, I mean, knock on wood for us, but I know that 95% of other companies are not going through that type of shift, especially for the small
The
businesses.
difference is that you were willing to take the chance to go do things that you weren't willing to do before, or you were thinking to yourself, okay, maybe you had a 5-year plan and now you just upped it by
That's
five
right.
years.
Yeah,
But like,
you have to. You have to. And they call
there
it
are people out
pivoting.
there who
I'll
are
just call it add a new service.
Yeah, that's what I did.
You're willing to do it. Not
But
everyone's
I
willing to do it. There are so many people. I'm sorry, Amanda. Just like so many
I
people
know.
are given the opportunity to do something different, and they're just saying like, it's not in my branding. It's not what I
right.
do.
But you
I'm
know
gonna
what?
just
Here's the
stay in
thing.
my lane.
We're all entrepreneurs. We're all
Yeah.
workaholics. I could guarantee you that, right? And we work. Our 8-hour days, not 8-hour days, it's 16-hour days, 18-hour days. We wake up thinking about the work that we have to do. If anything, you might be working 20 hours. You might be working while you're sleeping. And so that's the mindset that we have to be thinking about as entrepreneurs. And those who say, "Hey, I'm an entrepreneur," but they work 9, 8 hours a day. I'm sorry, you might
Right.
not be able to pivot that quickly.
Right.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I say to myself, maybe that's the smarter way to go. I think that there's too much of a drug not to do it differently. So who knows?
What I was going to say was that you say, yes, we have to do that. And that's what I say. And that's what Josh says. But a lot of people don't say that. That's not because I've talked to people for the past few months and I say, what are you up to? And they're not just waiting for it to come, for it to get
Right.
better.
Right.
That's not how any of us roll, but that is how some
let me-
people,
let me
but I
ask you
think
guys
in this
this.
industry, you have to be innovative.
Let me ask you guys this: what keeps you going? What makes you tick and like say, I got to keep going?
I'll let you handle that first, Amanda, because mine.
I was waiting for you first. I was like,
You
what's he
want me to
going
go
to
first? I
say?
can go first. I
Go
don't
ahead.
mind. I'll tell you what makes me tick. What makes me tick is when people call me in the middle of the day and they're like, I just want you to know that you have been a breath of fresh air through this entire process. Everything is easy. Things are coming along because let's be real. You could plan a wedding in 3 years. You could also plan a wedding in 30 minutes. So if you have great venue, and I'm not downplaying the business. Oh my gosh, I'm not downplaying the craziness. I'm not. I don't take it back, but I take it back. I'm taking a step back and I'm saying that if you have amazing vendors that you've worked with many of times, if you have the right people in place and the budget is there in advance, then
Yes.
it's really up to you to do the right thing for your clients and just connect everybody and produce.
Yep.
You eliminate the idea of, oh my gosh, my hands are like going everywhere. You eliminate the idea of like the meetings and all the amazing things that typically come with planning an event. because times have changed. But when that person texts you at the end of the day that you made their world during a crazy time,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no
Agreed.
better feeling in the world for me. And that's what makes me get up every day and say, I'm going to kill it again tomorrow. Because, like, what other choice do you have?
Yeah.
Agreed.
So I thought you meant like creativity.
Maybe you did. I don't know. Maybe I took that in the wrong direction. Who the hell knows?
but you did just remind me. I just got an email this week saying from someone like, keep doing what you're doing. You've been out in the media a lot. You've been getting out there. Keep doing it because the world needs more of you. And I was just like, done. Like that, if you need someone to say one thing just to keep you going, because right now I have to be everything for everyone.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to hear that and to get that appreciation. Appreciation means.
We appreciate you, Amanda.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well. So I want to just say what's been happening with me from this standpoint. It's been very different. It's been more of ceremonies and then planning for the future big wedding. So backyard weddings, ceremonies, and then planning for a year or two. I know you guys have been doing that as well. And Kwa, you've been live streaming, and Josh, you've been doing a lot of that. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on the backyard weddings for a little bit.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
So have they been, in your worlds, have they been as big of an event? I mean, not big as in tons of people, but as extravagant?
So I'll tell you something. Kwa's shaking his head no. I'm going to disagree with you, Kwa, and I'll tell you why. This has been a huge thing for me. And it's a huge compliment, and I'm not taking it. I'm taking it humbly. I don't want to come across that I'm like, whatever. It's just, what I'm finding is that parents are calling us up saying, listen, my daughter's dreams are crushed. We're going to get married in this amazing venue. We're going to have this amazing band. We're going to have this amazing caterer. We were going to have this whole amazing experience, and we weren't using you. We had, someone that either, and it's fine. It's not an insult to us. It's just whatever was easier, more convenient, or more affordable at the time. Not saying we're not affordable, just saying, and they're saying to themselves, they're like, well, now that we have to tone down everything else, because the food doesn't matter as much, because you can't, how much, even if you get the most expensive meal for 50 people, where are we going with it? You know what I mean? Like, it's 50 people. Right. So food is X amount. My band doesn't need to be a full-blown band anymore. Now we're going ahead and we're doing a smaller.
And you can't even have a dance floor, so it has to be small.
Yeah, everything is smaller. So they're saying now we're willing to go a little bit of the extra mile, make it that much prettier. So in pictures for the long term, our daughter still smiles, or our groom still smiles, or our kids smile, or we smile. And that's been a beautiful thing for backyard weddings. Though I think they started in like, let's just be nature and beautiful. And now they're like, give me something different than a rustic wood table and greenery running down the table with candles. Every bride these days.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
It's different for us. I know for me, it's different because we're doing these weddings more from a live stream perspective, and we show up for an hour or 2 hours, and we're just capturing pretty much what Josh created. so our interaction with the clients is like, it's not like what traditionally, with the photos and video, you're going in there and then you kind of with them for the 8-12 hour day, whatever it is, right? We're still doing that as well, but the new pivot that we've been doing with the live stream and stuff, the relationship is a little bit different. It's like, here it is, you're going there and it's so tech. You set it up with live streaming, and then it's done. You close the stream, you're out. You say bye. Okay, what was your name again? It's kind of like that's our world, versus the photographer and the videographer. So it's different,
Yeah. All right, we're switching topics because we have to talk about something that Josh brought up before, and I said no. We have to save this for the show. You cannot get me started on this before the show. Okay. All right.
Here we go.
The Black and White Photography Female Empowerment Challenge that's all over Instagram and Facebook right now. So, Josh, do you want to say your point of view first?
No, I'm for it. Listen, I told you I'm for it. I'm totally for it. Let me tell you something. The women in my life have been huge role models. My mentor is a woman. I'm totally for it. I think it's incredible. Promote women empowerment all day. Go for it. However,
Uh-oh.
Don't forget us men too. That's all I'm saying. Is like there should be a people empowerment. I understand it's a different movement. So I'm not gonna I'm not stepping over or like dismissing. This is way too political, Amanda.
No, it's funny.
I'm not being political. I'm not. I'm for it.
Are you being real right
I have two
now?
girls. What'd you say?
You're being real right now, and that's what we.
This is kind of similar to the Time's Up movement, right? This is similar to the Time's Up movement, isn't it? Similar to the Time's Up.
I mean, it's a much smaller movement, and this is the thing.
It doesn't look small.
Well, I mean, it's like you're not supposed to say anything. Some people have. A lot of people have accepted.
Yeah.
And I have to say, when I first saw it, my first reaction in my head was like, "Oh, it's just for women." So I will give you that. And this is coming from kind of feminist person, but I do love it because it's women supporting women to to just, become their best selves. And I am all about that. So whether it's women or men, maybe you start a men's one next week.
I saw somebody do a men's one and I was like, hells yeah. You know what's funny? I'm like in the process of doing some stuff in Birch and I'm only working with women. And it's funny because when I was going through my whole brand and all that other fun stuff that like I always used to think about, but not on such a deep level, we're in a fluffy business. We do flowers, we do beautiful events, we make things very pretty, and it's very soft and delicate. And I said to myself, I'm like, well, I want to make the brand a little bit more handsome, a little bit more masculine, but not because I'm saying it shouldn't be, I don't know how to say this correctly. I just feel like we're putting an equal amount of work in our line of work. The women run the industry. I mean, there's so many amazing, talented, powerful women.
I agree. I totally agree.
I tell my wife all the time, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they have families and lives and social lives and dating and stuff like that. I'm like, I have no idea. So yes, I take certain things for granted because I have the most amazing wife who really handles so much for me and the family. So I have to take a step back from that. But, and this is the biggest but, is that I don't know. I see all these amazing images and I'm like, well, I work hard too. And so do so many other men that are out there that had to, sleep on the floors of David Beam said it. He slept on the floor of his building for years until he made money in his industry, like in his business. I don't know. I stand and applaud of him just as much as I stand in awe.
I say you put up a black and white picture of yourself tomorrow and say, challenge accepted.
I'm not doing that. I would never do that.
Qua, have you seen it?
I haven't really looked into that, but when you told me about it, I mean, I get it, I understand it. I just think that it's just it's there. People got to realize there is a balance. Women need the men, and men need the women. It's kind of that thing, I work closely with CAA, Creative Artists Agency, right? And they were the first ones that came up with the Time's Up movement. Pretty much, they created the foundation. I met with the founders and everything else, and we were part of capturing the event. One of the people said to us, one of the biggest problems about Time's Up is that now the women are getting shunned, getting backlash by the men because now men are afraid of the women and they don't want to hire the women. Then now the women go, they go, well, we need perspective from the men too. Mindset as well. So I kind of look at it as like, well, that's good perspective. That's at least you're thinking about that, and I hope you are. I don't know.
Well, we're all important. It is true, Josh. We're all important.
I'm gonna get yelled at. I know this.
No, you're good.
It came from a good place. It just,
It's okay. It's okay.
I want a challenge. No, I'm kidding.
What's the next topic?
So, everybody out there, we want to hear your questions. We want to see your questions, and we'll say them out loud. And we will do a little bit of a Q&A.
I have some stuff, Amanda. If you go back to the feed, which I think is the coolest part about this show, I happen to say, the coolest part is that you can go back into the feed and see what people are writing. First of all, Andreas and Nico are here. They're amazing photographers. I don't know if you know who they are.
And they said, don't be humble, Josh.
And by the way, this is our first time doing Instagram Live like this. this is the first time we're trying it. You know.
I know, Kwa, you're a genius.
We're
I said
experimenting
he's
it.
a genius.
You're
We're
a genius. You took
we're
this idea and you
experimenting
put it on
you
a
know?
whole
Hey,
nother level. I think this is like the coolest part of this whole show.
You
It's
know-
the fact that it's interactive with the, whoever is, listening and paying
I mean,
attention.
Instagram got so
I
much
love
more
that.
work
You're
to
all in
do
it
to
together.
cater to this
We are.
platform, but I would say that it's important that people we're taking bold risk, right? We're doing what we can.
I like it. I like it a lot. I don't know what people wrote when they said amazing, agreed, but we did the first intimate wedding in New York City. That is true. I did the first intimate wedding because of Andreas and Nico on May 17th.
Oh.
Going way back.
Mm.
That was insane. I'm excited to see questions come through. I'm a wedding planner in Wisconsin, and we unfortunately have no real restrictions. Wow. Any advice on how to guide my couples away from doing anything unsafe? Make it fun for them
Yeah.
to do things safe. I don't know. That's a question for you, Amanda.
I was thinking that was a question for me.
That's a question for you.
It's fun. I'm a talker. Sorry. Go ahead.
Is your name Rose? Rosewood? Anyway, so I would say because even if there's no restrictions, keeping a little bit of a social distance is always safe. And if you want to say, if people want to wear masks, but social distancing is a great idea because that's really the 6 feet apart is what's helping. That's what I've read. That's what I've heard. That's what it's been everywhere. That's the biggest thing. So I would say social distance and have fun, like you were saying.
Steal my answer,
I've been to
man.
these
I
weddings,
think
but it's
people can have a
crazy
good
that so
time.
many people are not wearing masks and everything else. So it's I don't know.
Would you come to the UK to make a backyard wedding?
I don't know
Are we
that-
allowed to fly there yet?
I think we're allowed to go there. It sounds like I want to go to Wisconsin. I'm just saying.
Where there's no restrictions? Yeah, I mean, I saw the map, and right now there's so many states without anything, and then we're all in this section where there's tons of cases. So, you're being summoned to the UK. That's funny. So, I don't know if we're allowed.
I don't know.
Any
Yeah.
other questions, guys? Someone.
No,
All
you
right. Well, we are so excited to do this and to be here for you. Have your questions ready for us for next week because
Yeah.
every Tuesday, 7 p.m., the three of us and sometimes a guest.
Wow. A guest. Like there's a really awesome thing. Kwa, you did an incredible job. This is unbelievable. Amanda, thank you for making this
thank
like
you.
your brainchild.
Thank you,
I think
thank
this
you.
is so good for a
But this is our first. This is
run.
our first run around. I look at it as our pilot episode, right? You know, we're just trying to get the feel of it,
Yeah.
and I like it. I like it. You know, I think for those that need this information, hopefully it helps somebody, right? That's the point of it.
You know what? You know what'd be awesome if like next time around we can go ahead and like ask for some like real venting questions.
Okay. We just got one more question that we should